rather than having these, for example, like this is actually not bad, but you can have H4, right, equal to and then the number of moles of CO2, right, and then let's say H4 for CO2, right, plus so on and so on. But then define that H4 for that state.
Okay.
Does that make sense? I mean, you already have it, but now I would say just put it in as a property for that state. So, for example, if you move lower,
Yeah, scroll down.
So there's a few things here, but then I keep going down. Yeah, for example, here, HPCO2. Okay, that's fine. HR, okay, HP. Yeah, so really, your HR is really what state is really H2. No, yeah, H2. This is really H2, and I put a bracket so you can actually create an array, right? And your products is really H3. So you can have like this, and then have one more line where you have these things, for example, right? And that way you can actually start creating your entropies. And now let's see, where do you have your state number 4?
State 4.
So this is 7. This is wait, stay here.
Okay.
So I see a few things that are not right. So actually no, what is that water? Yeah, this is what. Oh, this is okay. Now this is fine. Okay, no. So let's see. H7 CO2 H7. Now where all these H7s are used to? H. Okay. So what I would recommend is when you have these 5 H or 4 or 5 H7, then you have your variable that's called H7, right? That is really the H7 of the mixture. Does that make sense?
Okay.
As is close to what you have. So basically it will be N of water, right? And I'm gonna write that whole thing, right?
Right.
Times H of water, right? And so on. That will make your code a little bit easier to follow too. And it makes some of this equation easier to follow too, right? So for example, here, rather than having CO2, H water, and so on, it will be basically, this is H4 minus H7. I also found something wrong here. Okay, yeah, so that'll be easier to kind of follow and understand your code. Now, I think I found something sketchy here. So on the boiler is 3 and 2, which is okay. I already found a couple of things here. Do you have with you the sketch that I provided, Evan?
I believe we're going off of Colin's sketch that he created. Is there?
Well, hopefully he used the same numbering than I use, because that's the reason why I provide that stuff. So let's see.
Can you see that sketch, by the way?
Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. He used a different numbering.
Okay.
It's a nice sketch. Let's see. Mix, air flue, fresh air. Maybe move this out of the way. It's a nice sketch for sure. Gas feed, and then this one here, and then one economizer, 2. Yeah, he used a different numbering. Just make things hard,
Right.
So if you guys can, redo and use the sketch I provide, that will be a lot better. Because otherwise, if everybody comes with their own numbering, it's gonna make things really hard.
Right.
But let's take a look at this. So we're looking at the boiler. So this is a state 4 is the gas, 6 is the air, and what is, I guess, the state that comes here after the combustion, and then 7 and 2 and 3. Okay.
And
All
that's
right.
what. Yeah. We were labeling that for the AFT, I believe, on the heat.
Okay, so you really have. All right. So let's go back to your ease.
Okay.
and then you have, so AFT is the adiabatic flame temperature, which is another state on that one. Okay, see, and then 7 is the one after.
Correct.
That one. Okay. Okay, so that's okay, that's fine. And each one has a mass flow rate. Yeah, I don't know why, let's actually see. I don't know what is you having such a low, it's a very low value for sure.
Yeah, it's about, if I pull up the solution here, up here for the boiler, it's like 0.2% efficiency.
Okay, so let's see. Your numbers are all different. Uh, One thing that could be the reason is the mass flow rate. The second thing I would recommend is that you don't need to do the work for ease. So I would say redo those entropies, but the value seems more or less okay. Those values.
Can we ask how the economizer efficiency is looking right now?
It's a little bit low, but it's not too bad. Let's actually look into that the equation that you have there. Well, actually, I first need to see your numbering, your sketch again to understand how you number those things. So
Okay.
can you go back to the economizer? Is 7 and 8 is gas, and 1 and 2 is water. Okay.
Okay.
Let's actually go to top. I want to see the values that you use. So 1 and 2 is all the way to the top, please, Evan.
Okay.
1 and 2. So these are input that you're using, and then
Correct.
7 and 8. Also, this is an input that is given. Okay. All right. So, and then, okay. Let's then keep going, please.
Okay.
Let's see, where do you use those values? Okay, that's state number 7.
Correct.
And then that's the number 8. Okay, so then you have water, and then so the overall equation is correct. Give me 1 second, guys.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry.
You're fine.
All right, so let's see. Show me also how you're getting the mass flow rates of both the water and the air. I think this is where the problem is. So the first thing is, the first thing, as I said, I don't think you need to do this part. If you actually use the partial pressure of every single one, which basically be Y of C. I mean, actually, we do this part. So this one here, what you should do is Y of CO2.
Okay.
And then what you call here P flu. Right? And then the same for every single one here on that part, right? That way it's gonna give you the partial pressure of every single one, and that take care of this.
I see. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, I don't think that's the main reason why, but that also help in certain ways. Now let's, for water is not, this is fine because it's water is just by itself, right? Oh, yeah, because this is the steam. It's not paper, water vapor, right? Okay, now let's show me where you get your flow rates for steam, gas, and air. So so wait, go back. Sorry, you know, you already have you calculated wise. So keep going up. You know, it is keep going up. There you go. So you already had the wise right on that part. So you can use that. I don't know. So then keep going up, please.
Okay.
So now where are the mass flow rates, or how did you get those flow rates of the gas, water? Oh, there's actually one more thing that I saw. So if this is your reaction.
Yes.
So it's not correct. So for the final report, this is not going to be complete, right?
Okay.
Because you are not using the flue gas data,
Hmm.
right? So I put in Canvas, right? So because the flue gas data, how do I know? How do I quickly know? Well, actually, you do have CO2. Yeah, so you have O2 on that part, but the flue gas, I mean, yeah, I don't think this, I could be wrong, but let me just check. Well, actually, no, you're not right. Let me just, I know you're not right, but let's see how off you are. What is my reaction? Okay, it's here. Where did they get the 29% excess air? Let me actually, we can check right now. That's actually given. It is excess air. It's right here. I can actually show you that part. I don't know who asked that question, but let me just, I'm going to quickly show that
Yeah.
information. That comes from the flue gas. Where is it? Share screen. Right,
Do
it's
I need
coming
to
from here.
stop sharing?
Yeah, can you see now my screen?
I can see it now.
Yeah, so the flue gas data, right? So the flue gas data, you know, Devon and Christian. So this is, you need to use the values, you know, for CO2, right? You know, this is given. Also for oxygen are here, right? You know, and then and you need to convert ppm to percent, which is basically divided by 1,300 or 1,000, well, something like that, right? But then whoever asked the question, this is where you get access here.
Okay, because we were looking at the boiler spec sheet, and that one was just saying 15% excess air.
So remember, the boiler specs is your last resort,
Oh,
right?
okay.
That's the last thing you should be. When you cannot find any in anywhere other place, you know, that's the data you use, because that's on a very standard position, right? So you know, it's a different, you know, different settings, right? So that's why we have all this data. You have again the flu data, right? You also have the logs, right, for that day and for that particular you know, and so on. So you should use everything. I think the only thing that is not given, it's the recirculation percent. How much the fluid gets recirculated. That's the only thing that is not given. But the rest should come from either from this one right here, right? Or basically, you know, this one. And if you need to have, you know, flow rates, they are coming from here, right? The flow rates from boiler one, and it's a steam flow.
Okay, I gotcha. So that spec sheet is kind of, that's just their like ideal operations specs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's your last. If you cannot find anything in the other data sets, then you go to that one. But it's only one or two things that you can get from there. Everything else is, you know, it's in the rest of the, you know, data I gave you. Now, sorry. Now, let's go back to your. Who asked the question? Ben, did you ask
Yeah,
the
yeah,
question?
that
Or,
answers my
okay,
question.
yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. Devin, let's go back to your.
Uh, there.
Yeah, so one thing, so I will be interested in, in seeing how do you get these coefficients here on that part, right? Because you don't have CO, so which made me think that you may not have used the fluid data analysis, the flue gas data analysis, right? And the second thing is also, it's also showing me is that you're not considering the zone of the flue, it gets brought back to the fresh air, right? So if you go back to the diagram that you guys created,
This.
I'm still seeing your is file.
You share this one. Can you see that?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it basically pretty much, let's see, flue gas, right? So this is your exhaust. Yeah. So this is basically the flue, right? It goes to here and it comes back and it gets mixed with the air,
Right.
right? So so basically what it's saying is that when you're mixing, your products also have CO2, very little CO, and water. And you don't have that in your equation. Now, when are you guys presenting? Tomorrow or Friday?
Friday.
Okay, so you have more time.
Yes.
It's up to you to decide if, but eventually in the report, I do want to see those things, right?
Mhm.
It has to be the exact reaction happening with all the gas. If for Friday you want to play it safe and keep it like that, it's for now it's okay, right?
Okay.
Now, but I still want to see how do you get those flow rates for the air, for the methane, and for water. Those are the three things that I see that maybe kind of messing things around. That will be one thing.
Okay.
And I'm still seeing your diagram, by the way.
Sorry. This is changing on me. There. Okay.
Yeah, because you basically fix all the temperatures, right? Except for the adiabatic flame temperature.
Mhm.
And then you kind of force it to kind of get to the temperature there. So, which basically means, how do you get in the flow rates? Okay, so here this is kind of, if this is gas, this should give you air.
Right.
Let's see, and then water. How do you get the water flow rate?
I'm thinking it's in these values right here.
No, because this is for water vapor. I'm thinking
Oh.
for steam.
Yeah, I'm not seeing that one, Devin, on my.
I'm not sure if we made that distinction from the water vapor and the steam.
Okay, so actually go down, go back to your boiler efficiency equation.
Okay. Here.
All right, so let's go to this part. Where do you have XF3?
XF3 is
It's right there.
right
Okay,
above it.
so what is N steam?
And steam, if I scroll back up to it real quick, is
There you go. I see it there.
yes.
Okay, so this one actually looks all right, I believe. Let me just check the values because I don't remember top of my mind, but steam flow is around 20,000 pounds per hour. So you have it, I think yours are right.
Okay.
And then 18 is the molecular weight of water. So that's all right.
Okay.
That one is fine. Eh, what I do like to see in order to kind of help you, right? Is I want to see the mass flow rates, and at the end of the day, I would say it would be better if you give me mass flow rates in terms of pounds per hour of gas, water, and whatever. If you're gonna do whatever you want in your own, the question, that's fine. But I want as an output, just to confirm that you're using the right values, mass flow rates of the flue, of the gas, the natural gas, of air, right? And the steam too. So I want to see those values too. So because that one I can quickly compare and again, what they're measuring is basically pounds per hour, right? They're not measuring the moles. Moles is an intern step that you do to kind of make all the chemistry, all the thermal work on that part. So make sure that that's there. So work on that, and then that will be the only thing. I mean, my only thing that I was a little bit the gas flow data sounds a little sketchy. I don't know, because the data I have here is slightly different. Actually, it's very different on that one. So let's, that's the only thing I could think that could sketch that part. Because if your gas flow rate is way too high, that could switch and make things very low, right? Because your boiler efficiency should be way higher, which made me think that somehow your flue gas flow rate is way too high.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me actually see. Let's do one more thing. Do I have that information? I don't think I have it in my own knees. So I think I would like to do is, really calculate, H4, right? As I told you to do, H3, right? And so on. Why? Then I can quickly compare to my values and say, oh, this sounds okay. This sounds not, and so on. That's the first thing. Second thing is fix all the entropies as I told you to do, right? The second thing. Third, have all your mass flow rates in pounds per hour so I can compare those things too. And make sure that your mass flow rate of water and gas, and yeah, they are comparable to the data. And also your airflow rates, because that's also given in the either maybe not given, but they give you a range of values. So compare those things, and since you guys are presenting on Friday, we can meet again. See if you can get those things in order, and I can perhaps see you guys tomorrow during office hours.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you. We'll definitely try to make those adjustments, make this easier to decipher.
And compare two values right on that part. That way I can it's easier, faster, see what's going on.
Right, definitely.
But what I'm thinking is, maybe your flow rate, mass flow rate may be too high. That was driving things to be too low, because the body efficiency should be much higher. I mean, another thing you can do is just do a simple efficiency of the boiler, right? The first law efficiency of the boiler, which is H steam in minus H steam out, right? Divided by actually that'll be my mass flow rate, the steam, right? On that one, and the mass flow rate of the flue, and then flue in minus flue out. Again, you guys have different numbers and so on, right? So yeah, do a first law efficiency that that should give you an idea of how, it should be well, depending on how you calculate those things, but it should be pretty high, 70 to 90%.
Okay.
That's the first law, right? No, it's not a second law, right? So, but your second law should be much higher because you have less than 1%, right? So something like that. They should be way higher than that.
Okay.
Let's see, something in the chat or not? Okay. Yeah, so I think we already kind of answered your question. Is anybody else? Here's only you two guys. Let's see.
Yeah, I just had joined because we were working on the assignment that was due last night, and I emailed
Yeah.
you asking if we could have an extension because we got stuck on a couple points. That's why I came in here today. And I think one of the biggest issues was we got overexcited and just jumped onto that boiler spec sheet as our working numbers.
Okay.
Because like we had one of the issues, one of your feedbacks on an earlier assignment was we made the assumption of perfect combustion, and they're like, yeah, no, it's not perfect combustion. And we were like looking at the boiler spec sheet, and we're like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, it's not showing any like unused fuel in the flue or anything like that. Like, it's not adding up. But looking at the actual flue gas data, parts per million of CO, yeah, exactly. Yeah, there is going to be incomplete combustion there.
Yep.
And that was the primary thing. Seeing theirs was also helpful just to kind of get some hints as far as where we're getting stuck on a couple issues. Because conceptually, we were on the right path, but we were hitting like,
Okay.
do we do this or do we not do this? So it was kind of helpful to just kind of sit here and listen and watch.
Okay. So did you submit it? Did you submit the preliminary report or not?
We're working on the preliminary results right now.
Okay. Well, submit it today then.
Yeah, we'll have it. We're aiming to have it done by midnight tonight.
All right, sounds good.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Sure. Devin and Christian, any other questions?